All right, guys, what's up? We're back. We're back. Monday. It was a pretty active day on gold. At the end, it curled up in a bit of a range, but nonetheless, it was a pretty solid day. We were up 100 plus pips on one trade. It was actually we were up for like almost 300 pips, but at the end we only got like maybe 120 pips out of it. 150 pips actually. Yeah. Just gonna do a little analysis here shortly. Come on. All right.
To everybody that saw him play in Russia, said it was good, but you always.
I'm gonna do a little analysis here. Oh shit. All right. XCU. What are you gonna give us? watching the game at the same time. You can't miss this time of year, you know. So that's what I do. Just waiting for the charts. But I am waiting for sells on gold. If you look at the daily, you know, we can possibly go for a deeper correction. But it's possible that we come down here also and respect this low over here and form some kind of support and go up. So, but nonetheless, I can, if like for now, for what it looks like, I can see it probably coming down. Or maybe it can range also for a few days. Still waiting here. But yeah, if I take this zone over here, like from here to here, and then I can take another sell fib from here to here. Let's see, I can see it coming down, like I can see it breaking like this low over here, and then I don't know what's gonna happen. Just waiting for some volume to kick in at least. Like there's just no volume right now, to be honest. You can see it in the candles. Like look at the size of the bodies, you know. That's one of the easiest ways to see if there's volume or not in the market. We are Asia session has opened, so I do expect a bit of volume to come. Seems like we might have just a bit of volume here kicking in. This 5 minute has a bigger body than usual. What are you waiting for? I'm waiting for some volume and for some sells. And both of those things that I'm waiting for, they're not present, so I just have to wait for an opportunity. Why don't you set a trade overnight? If there's a trade, I'll set it for sure. There's got to be a trade for you to set a trade, right? If there isn't, yeah, for sure, I'm gonna set it. Oh, okay. You know, if we see like, I probably want to see like a fake out above the zone, and then we rip right back down, which would confirm to me that we grabbed, and then we can make our way down. You can possibly come back to here like 3,200. It's a pretty nice psychological level. And then, you know, it's going to depend if we're going to break below or we're going to hold here and then go higher to maybe here. 3230, around that area. Still waiting, just waiting. Some dead candles right here. Nothing you can do with that. Does watching the game make you not look at the charts? Yeah, like when I'm waiting for a trade, you know, instead of just like, you know, keeping my eyes on the charts, like I focus and I pre-plan to know what I'm looking for, and then, you know, after I'm just gonna keep myself busy or whatever. Because if you look at the charts too much, you know, you're just gonna be like, you're gonna get impatient. You're gonna be like, oh, I have to enter a trade. Not me, but like, you know, the average trader, which was me at some point. Does seem to be a little bit more volume in this candle. Let's just see if it can sustain. Man, I was so focused on the game. This guy Demidov is crazy, man. This guy, new guy in Montreal. Man, he's just taking over, man. Damn. Shit. Hare Krishna Deepa, how are you? You're on that side today, not on this side. The Discord link don't work. Then I tried, but it says you're not there. That's weird. Like the same link you use usually, it's not working. Yeah, I'm good. I hope you're doing good. Good too. Just waiting here. Really, really slow volume here, to be honest. I could expect that, it can curl up in a range here, even on the daily time frame, just awaiting for, the next move. But right now, there's just nothing going on at all. Yeah, I'm gonna be here till 9, but we just have really no volume over here, so there's really not much I can do. But for those who just hopped on the stream, I am looking for sells. The daily closed bearish here, but I don't know how far it can go down because we have formed support on the H4 and it is a bullish trend. So, but even like forming support, there's not much bullish momentum. So, could just be a range, could go up, could go down. It's tough to say right now. And when you don't know which side it's going, you cannot trade. It's better to just wait it out. If you trade this, you're going to get killed because you might go in profit for a bit and then it's going to go against you. So it's really unpredictable markets. Since when do you watch hockey? Since I'm a kid. I used to play also before. You're always watching during stream time, yeah, because like most of the games they happen this time, but I just keep it on, on the side. Like I said, even during New York, obviously there's no games, but I do other stuff on the side to kind of keep me busy, because like I said, if you're just staring at the charts, you're gonna take a trade out of FOMO or whatever, impatience. So, like, know what you want, do your analysis, and then just wait for your zones or wait for some kind of reaction. You don't have to stare at every 1 minute candle and trying to predict what's gonna go on. The hell? Oh, can we come down here maybe? See if we can get some volume over here. Break down below these lows. Probably come down until 3,200. That would be the next level. Asia session has been slow recently. Yeah, to be honest, we did have a few days with more volume where we did take trades, but like in the past 2 weeks, I'd say like possibly like half of the last 2 weeks have been pretty slow. And we get something here. H4 MA is still really far, to be honest. There's a lot of space to go down. Broken below the H12, so there's a ton of clean range. We have this gap here also that I do expect that at some point we're gonna come fill it. Are you gonna set a trade overnight? Like I said, we don't have anything for now. I do think that we can come down to make a bottom wick, and the dailies form the support also. But then if you go on the H4, the H forms form the support. So it's just a lot of confusion here. That's what happens when you don't have a ton of volume. You just curl up in a range. So I don't have much going on right now. Will be like this whole week, or just it was Monday today overall? It's tough to say, to be honest. But like I said, like even on the higher time frame, to me it seems like we can maybe range. But do we have any fundamental? Let's go see if we have anything this week. Tomorrow we don't have anything. Wednesday we have FOMC meeting minutes, not FOMC itself. Okay, we have CPI on Thursday, so maybe it's gonna range until CPI, and then decide what move we want to make on the higher time frame. But yeah, for now there's just not much going on. You can see the previous daily, it was just dead volume. Yeah, not much going on. I'll be on for another 15 to see if we can get volume in the next candle, but if we don't get volume now, then it's going to be New York session for me. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and see what I can catch, if the market gives an opportunity. There's always opportunities, so let's see. Just not much going on. Might just call it a stream in like 5 minutes, to be honest. I really doubt that this 15 is going to give, like in one candle, it's going to give me a move. But like I said, what I'm looking for really is like, I wanted to break above this resistance here, and just get some volume, do some kind of grab over here, but respect this high over here, and then make its way down. भाई ट्रेड से पैसा कमा, लाइव से नहीं, बंद कर दे लाइव। पैसा तो आएगा भाई, just wait for the setup, bro. ट्रेड के लिए अगर कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है तो कौन सा ट्रेड ले सकते हैं? Hate her much. If I take a trade, brother, you're gonna lose. I'd rather just wait, wait for a quality setup. What's the record on stream? I think by now we've called a lot of pips. Mostly, I'd say the most pips we've called is like when we're calling something on stream, and then after we send it in our private chat. Like those overnight trades are pretty nice. But I'm not a scalper really, so like I try to just mark my areas and enter at key prices, and I try to leave it overnight. Why is dude hating? I don't know. It'd be the dudes who don't know how to trade. They're the ones who hate. What's your percentage for April? Let me check. We're up about 3-4%. Which is not bad. Not bad, to be honest, for the type of month we'd had so far. Like this was super impulsive over here, this move over here. Really, really nice move. We did have buys over here. This was like one of the biggest trades we caught recently, like 700 or something pips. But yeah, watch out for this daily low if we do break it overnight for those that trade London. If we do come and break this daily low, we can possibly make our way down. I really think that, with volume, we should come fill this gap over here. And this morning, like this was my target, just a little bit before the gap. But, we didn't get that this morning. We came down all the way until here. Then it came back a bit above here. I got another entry over here, which ran for a nice 100-something pips. And, after this candle right over here, this big candle, I went risk-free. So, at the shoulder over here, we had another rejection and we went up. So, I don't always swing for the fences, but sometimes you got to be patient with your trades. Like if you're always securing your trades like really fast, your losses have to be even tighter. Because you have to keep your losses smaller than your wins. So, most times I really get stopped out break even. Like sometimes I secure partials also, but like a lot of times I get stopped out break even. But when my trade hits take profit, it's like 300, 400, 500, 600 plus pips. So and I try to keep my losses under 50 pips ideally, but yeah. When you're wrong, you got to cut it. But when you're right, you just have to be patient with your trade. That's why I say like bias is more important than like bias than the trade itself. Obviously, the trade itself is important, but if your bias is right, then precision is important. But you know that even if you go, in a bit of drawdown or whatever, if your idea is right, the trade should still go that way. But if your bias is not right at all, let's say you're taking sells when it's really bullish, then you might go in profit for a little bit of time if you enter at a key interest area, but you're gonna get stopped out fast. But one thing with gold is that it's really impulsive on key levels. So if you have a level which is really strong, like there's going to be a reaction because gold reacts to levels really, really well. Perseverance, yes, sir. That's what it is. How much are you funded? 300K, I think. Yeah, 300K, 3 accounts. 3 accounts of 100K. But I prefer to trade my personal capital, but funded accounts is really good. Yeah, I didn't expect this, to be honest. I expected a little bit more volume, but wow. You can look at this daily candle. That's crazy. Yo, what does it move, like 2 pips? 40 pips. That's crazy. Yeah, there's just nothing going on right now. Alright, so I'm gonna be calling it a stream here. We don't even have anything that we can set overnight for now. It's just gonna have to wait until New York tomorrow. But I am sells mostly. I do think that we can come down a little bit, but it's too risky to enter a trade right now. You need to wait for more volume, for more direction on the higher time frame. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. This looked really familiar. You called out a trade for a sale last time. I am still sells, and this morning we did take sells over here. Like I had this fib over here, and I was targeting the 61 over here, but I knew that it can come to the 100 over here just to fill this gap over here. You see the alignment over here? So I was targeting this level over here, and we did come down. Like I got some entries over here at the high, really, really nice entries just before the drop over here. And then we didn't go all the way. This I knew that it was going to be a pivotal level because it's take profit 1 and we are in a bullish trend. But I wanted to stay patient on this trade. I really thought that we can come down. I still do, but we'll see. Also, if you look at this fib over here, whether you take it from the low or from here, whatever, you can see that obviously it's due for a correction, at least at the 38, but you do have the 23 level over here, which is going to have probably some kind of reaction here. So I was targeting this level over here, but went over 150 pips. Yeah, I did. It went for like almost 300, but we only got 150 off it. It is what it is. Did re-enter. I don't know if I called that, but I took a re-entry when it came up. Basically, when we came up over here, let me just take off everything. I had some kind of level over here, Which one was it? Yeah, here. I had like this break-in retest over here, but you can see that we kind of leaked above, and then I cut it over here at 150 pips. But I saw like a candle, forming resistance on the lower time frame, so I took another sell, came down another 100 something pips, but we didn't go all the way. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll be back tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. See if we can get some volume overnight, and let's see tomorrow. Take care, guys.